Welcome to another episode of You Can't Make This Shit Up. I'm your host, Joel Hoxley, and this is your real host, David Washington. Where are we at today, David?
We are speaking of Florida Representative Rick Roth. Florida Representative Rick Roth, a Republican out of West Palm Beach, persistently pushes to raise the bar for passing constitutional amendments in Florida from 60% to 67%, limiting voter influence. His efforts threaten citizen democracy, ignoring past successes like wage increases and fair districting. Despite criticism, Roth's bill passed the Florida House with little opposition. Is this a sinister ploy, said the Sun Sentinel Editorial Board, to silence the voices of Floridians in the last place where they still have an impact, at the ballot box? Let's go, Joel. What say you?
I I'm speechless. You know what? 60 to 67%. I don't understand the percentage myself. I think it should be 70, 75%, should be a super majority, because if the people really want to get something done, they should organize and do it. So, I mean, I think it's kind of low myself. I think that you know, people need to be invested. And if they're invested, it's just like a super majority. You want something on the Constitution, then it needs to be a super majority. It's just like you don't impeach somebody without, 2/3 majority. You have to have the super majorities for a reason. So let the people work with a super majority. They really truly want to get something done. It's not like it's going to stop you from getting abortion on the ballot. You still have to get your threshold on the vote too. You don't. It's not just 50% to get something on the on the in the Constitution. You have to make that
60%
sixty
threshold.
percent threshold. So I think it should. I see no reason why I would not defend the fact that he wants to increase it, but I do understand that people think, "Oh my God, it's even it's more difficult." Well, it should be difficult to amend a constitution. Now, other initiatives, citizen initiatives, you would have Joel on the opposite side. But this is the Constitution of Florida, where we protect pigs from pens.
And for 2 decades, the threshold has been at 60%. And it takes about a million petition ballot signatures to put a initiative on the ballot to change the Constitution. And so 67% does make it harder. Florida has the nation's most difficult um, criteria for meeting a ballot initiative access to the ballot. Um, Arguments on the other side have said that it disenfranchises individuals, citizens, making things less and less accessible to amend a constitution that people feel need to be amended. There have been debates about this for some time now. Um, I don't know, Joel. I agree with you. An amendment should be difficult to access. An amendment should be difficult to approve to change a constitution. However, that should not change the opportunity to place something on the ballot. So that's where I stand.
Well, let's look at it this way, David. So why don't we? It should also be difficult to amend the Constitution for our members up in Tallahassee.
Mhm.
So they should be required to have a supermajority from both houses to be able to put something the on the ballot for a constitutional amendment. So I fairly see that it should be difficult for both the citizens and our legislators. So I find it a little easier for them to put something on the ballot, which I don't think is quite fair to the citizens either. So again, I can see that this is the constitution of the state. It's important, and we now have to send things to the Supreme Court just to make sure that there's a price tag on certain things. If there's going to be, we had a bullet train that um, passed our 60% threshold, and we couldn't afford it as a state and keep a balanced budget, so we had to revisit it. And we now have a requirement where the Supreme Court has to look at the wording to make sure the wording is correct, that it's understandable for the citizens. That just because I guess a judge is smarter than we are on language, um, but I guess it's to try to make sure that there's no tricking, the voter. But again, it should be difficult to amend the Constitution. As far as ballot initiatives, they should they should be challenging because your citizens should be united in wanting to do it. It takes 34 states to put together a constitutional convention. Uh, and then they still have no specific rules, right? We've talked about that. But at the end of the day, it's going to take 38 states to get what that convention puts forward to even get considered for passage. So again, there's always got to be something there to safeguard these documents because they are that important. So
It there is no companion Senate bill, so it's chances of this particular bill, I believe, is House Bill 335 or something to that effect. The chances of it passing is limited. However, um, it's funny how folks get elected with less than 60%, less than 67% of the vote, but this particular representative is asking for 67% threshold. So it's kind of odd. It's kind of funny. It's
well, it's unusual to have a Republican from West Palm Beach anyway, so
ah,
he's an anomaly. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Representative Roth. I apologize for that, but I had to have some type of humor in here. But look, David, I appreciate this topic. I do think that citizens need to be aware of how they can get things accomplished, and they need to start. They need to watch and see what kind of obstacles. Watch what's going on in Tallahassee. It's almost over. We're going to have the handkerchief dropped, and if you don't know what that means, then you aren't paying attention.
Indeed. Final note for me, final thought here. It looks like the bill's not going anywhere. However, I agree with you. It shouldn't be that easy to change the Constitution anywhere. And a 67% threshold, that's one thing. 2/3 of citizens approving that's a tough threshold. 60, I'm good with that.
So David is 60-60 on this one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And please like, share, enjoy, become a member of our family, our community. Subscribe to our Informer
Newsletter.
newsletter, and just look out. I mean, we're doing a lot of things. We got some. Now we're going to start doing some publishing, and we're excited to where we're going here with Jay and Washington Network.
Indeed. Take care. We'll see you the next time.